Welcome back to Snap Copy's Snappy Copy Tips, the
Hello.
name that we didn't choose, it chose us.
Like a
That's
man.
James, wherever James is for you. Who am I?
Hello, Leanna. You're
Thank you.
Leanna.
Thank you. I insist that I am introduced. I will never introduce myself. I'm a diva.
Probably should
Anyway,
have worked that out beforehand.
wait,
Sorry about
what'd you
that.
say?
We should have worked that out beforehand, probably. Yeah.
Here we
Apologies.
are, live, raw, unedited,
That's right.
unshowered.
Well,
Uh, you
half
know,
showered.
half showered. You wash the important bits. Anyway,
What are we going to talk about today, Leanna?
today, we are talking about scoping out your copy projects and how you can plan ahead to prevent potential pitfalls. We had a much harder to say title for this video that has ruined both of us for speaking English for the rest of the day, but we're going to try our best. Yeah, here we go.
How to prevent project planning pitfalls. The first thing is that you need to have a scope for your
Yeah,
project.
well, what is a scope, James?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So a lot of people come to us knowing what they want ultimately to achieve, be it more sales or more subscribers or more people reading the things they send out, people not dropping out of their ecosystem, what have you.
People not hating them. And they
Yeah,
think copy is the solution here.
yeah. So they come convinced that copy is the solution, but they don't know which copy and how to fix it and how much of it needs fixing, and is it like write everything from scratch, or what are we talking about here?
Right.
And if you think of it, there's a lot of play in there that could cost an awful lot of money, or if in the right hands, maybe less money if you make precision changes to the exact parts of the project that need it.
Right. But it's hard to figure out where in your copy ecosystem, which now I'm picturing like the rainforest, which is on fire, by the way. Everyone donate to that. Dating this video. By this time, the entire Amazon has burned to the ground.
Pre-Amazon.
If you're watching this in the future, please send help. Anyway, so how do you decide on the scope of your project? How do you know where it's smart to focus on? And the thing that I always like to do is zero in on what's closest to the sale or what's closest to the revenue. So if we have a client that comes to us and they say, we're an e-commerce store, we have a bunch of different email flows, we'd like to improve all of them. Let's scope out a project. We'll usually say, okay, let's start with, abandoned cart emails or whatever's going to help you recoup the investment that you make in copy as quickly as possible, so that then we fuel future projects and we get a little more runway, especially if budget is a concern. So usually, TLDR, we'll start with whatever stands to bring the most money back into our clients' coffers.
I like that.
Yeah.
With minimal changes to, if people have things in their cart, they're almost ready to buy, and
They're so close.
switch a couple more of those people over. That's a lot less work than way further upstream trying to shift a whole bunch more people into a certain flow.
Right, and that's always an option for later. So I think one of the other things that I like that we do at Snap that you are particularly good at, James, is offering clients a range of scope options to choose from. So, if they come to us and they're like, do I need it all from scratch? Can we work with what I have? We'll take a look and we'll say, here's our recommendation. Maybe we'll optimize this existing copy and we'll write this new piece from scratch to create something for you that works better and is more cohesive. Or we can just optimize what you have, or we can scrap it all and do a radical new test. Here are your options, here are your budgets and your timelines, and you choose what feels right for you.
That's right. And something that I've really enjoyed since we've gone kind of more all in on Snap is the projects having much more definition because of the credit system that we use. It's like, it's much clearer for everyone, ourselves, but also we found for our clients, what we're delivering, when we'll be delivering it, how much it will cost. And something in my, consulting days that it can be a bit nebulous, necessarily nebulous, because when there's no definition, everything's on the table. And
Yeah.
I found that to be a really good, we often will find a solution that maybe someone, if they wanted to buy 15 credits, then we could do X, Y, and Z. Or if they wanted to buy 25, we could add in, W, X, Y, and Z. And then done some things, and I'm just going to go out and say this, that where we'll say to people, if you're not sure, you could buy 15, and if we start working, on something and you think, oh man, I really wish I'd bought 25 because it is cheaper per credit, we're willing to extend that 25. We'll make it as if you had bought 25 credits. So you can kind of like
We're nice people.
You have a do-over.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
I mean, I always want that in life. Like, why do I have to make my best decision right now? Why can't I wait and see and make the decision a little bit later?
He's talking about his kids, everyone. He wants a do-over on his kids.
I do not.
Okay, for the record.
For the record.
Sorry, James's wife and children. Please don't ever watch this. Anyway, I'm the worst. Yeah, so that's I really like that about Snap. And for example, we've got a client right now that has a lot of small projects and a lot of kind of repetitive projects. And in the past, that could get really messy really quickly, or with other, copywriters, if you don't have a credit system that's based on credits per deliverable, that can get really messy really fast because they say, oh, we updated the project list, of things that we need from you. And you're like, wait, we didn't agree on, how much that's going to cost or when I can get it to you. But this way, it's just, you have one deliverable at a time. You submit your project brief, no matter how small or how big, we let you know how much it's going to cost and when it's going to get back to you. So I think it really helps clients too, to sort of define what's next on deck before they send it to us. And then obviously that helps us and our writers.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you just said that, it just made me think of retainers. And one of the things that I love about Snap, and whenever I'm talking to people at conferences, if I meet them, I always end up saying that we're like this hybrid between projects and retainers. And it's great. It seems to work out great for people, because if you have a retainer and then you're trying to find things to fill up the monthly amount, and I don't know about you, Leanna, but I've definitely had retainers where it's kind of just unclear how much, like what is
right.
Is it words? Are we going by words? Which is an odd way to.
And if you don't fill up that person's time that you're paying for the retainer, you start to feel resentful and they start to feel useless, and it's just not a good situation.
Or whereas you get that like 9-to-5 mentality where you just give people work so that they have something to do, and not productive for anyone.
Not great. Yeah.
And to make this not completely a sales
ad,
which wasn't the intent. We really like what we're doing, and we really like how we're doing it and why. So there that is.
Yeah.
But you can do this with a project. Just the sort of bigger picture is, it is always worth getting more granular. And if you're trying to work with someone, highly recommend getting into that level, like get asking for sort of what if I want to spend this much or this much or this much, and just getting a bit more feedback about like what would I start with?
And usually that conversation takes place over multiple emails. And that's where I think some potential projects die on the vine, because, people get busy and you forget about what you were wanting to do. And that's where Snap is like, well, we know how much it's going to cost because we have a very clear, transparent list of deliverables and credit costs. And if your project doesn't fit into that, maybe we exchange a few emails, but overall, it's much easier to tell how much you're going to be paying and when it's going to be delivered to you than it would be with a one-off engagement with a normal copywriter.
Yeah.
None of us are normal here. Anyway, this has been a fun talk about scope and a great shameless plug for our business. So hope that was fun. Hope we plugged you sufficiently.
Ooh. Well, since we're plugging people.
Pull it out slowly. What?
Well, why don't you tell the title that this video used to be called?
Oh,
it needs to see the light of day.
The light of day. The original title of this video was How to Sidestep Scope Creep Stress. And we said that once and then kept saying how to sidestep scope creep stress. And that's
your copy tongue twister for the day.
Copy tongue twister. How to sidestep
times.
scope creep stress. It's so hard to say creep stress.
Yeah.
It's also my band name. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.